Yes, we are live now.
Okay.
All right. So, welcome everyone. Welcome to another show of DCL Primetime. We had a good break. We had a long weekend last week, so no games were scheduled. But we got to catch up with the games before that week. So we're gonna do that and get current. So let's go. I'm this week, Viju, we are going to be joined by a surprise fellow analyst. Uh, guest analyst, I would say. He's not a regular on our show, but someone who pretty much everyone in DCL knows, and very recently because of his exploits in the last couple of seasons, uh, getting some of the tall, fast, fierce Pakistani bowlers into the DCL league. He's famous for bringing that change in DCL. So we're going to be joined by Vijay Shanmugan. He leads the Dynamites Brigade, and he should be joining us momentarily. Uh, so we'll get him in as soon as he comes in. But before that, let's start off with our Division One games. I'll start from the top. Uh, we'll go with the Knockers versus Hawks game. Now, Knockers uh, were a team that was there at least 2 or 3 years, 4 years ago, before Stars picked up most of their uh, team, and now Knockers is coming back. We see a lot of the old faces, the likes of Vijay Mata, Arun Lavakumar, Deepak Raj, moving over from Stars to Knockers. But I think they are still struggling with the availability of a lot of the players, and it still feels like they are not there yet in terms of the Knockers of the old. Yes, it was a comprehensive win against Hawks, but I think based on even the previous games which they played, Knockers are still a shy away from being considered a real threat to getting into playoffs and going too far along in the playoffs as well. So I feel yes, it was a great win, but still a lot to be desired from the Knockers. Yes, Viju, go with you.
Yeah, Parthiv, I think Vikram Reddy Golamari is back with a bang, Parthiv. He
Hmm.
has taken 9 wickets in 3 matches. He is in second place if I look at the bowler statistics.
Yep.
Once again, I think long back I had indicated to you that when Vikram gets going, he is usually a wicket to wicket bowler because you can see that most of the times he gets you out either bowled or LBW. And this game was no different. Two bowls, one LBW, and one caught behind. And that tells me once again the ball is somewhere around the off stump and it's a nagging line and a nagging length. And you miss and you get bowled. And so he was the man for Hawks in this particular game. If you look at it, 4 overs, 12 runs, 1 wicket against Strikers, against Pokeries, another top team, 5 overs, 12 runs, 4 wickets. And now against Knockers, 5 overs, 14 runs, and 4 wickets. And that's why I said he's back with a bang. But if you ask me, despite all his great heroics, games had only one Lord, and the Lord was Lord Giriyappa.
Yep.
Arun Lavakar, if you look at it, you'll see that when it was 16.2, the score read 38 for 7, Parthiv. And
Hmm.
from there, this combination of Samita Disanayake and our Lord Deepak Giriyappa took the score all the way to 80 for 8. And if you ask me, that's when the Disanayake got out, and that was the ball game. But in 5 overs, they scored 42 runs, no wickets lost, and that was the ball game. In those 5 overs, Vikram bowled 1 over and he gave only 3 runs. So the rest of the runs are coming from the remaining 4 bowlers. And they couldn't contain the Knockers and they couldn't contain Lord Giriyappa. But this was Lord Giriyappa's day. He had 3.5 overs. He just gave 12 runs and picked up 4 wickets. And you've heard of the horse whisperer, right, Parthiv? Have you heard of the horse whisperer, the term horse whisperer?
Yes,
Well,
I have.
Lord Giriyappa was the hawk whisperer. All right. He was the hawk whisperer. And Lord Giriappa, if you know this, the hawk is a small bird. You see, in
Mm,
comparison, the eagle is a much bigger bird. And I do not know if you know the biggest eagle or the
mm,
mightiest and the strongest eagle is something called the harpy eagle. All right. And
mm,
this hawk, if you ask me, was no match for Lord Harpy because he found a tasty delicacy in the hawks and he consumed them for a good lunch. Lord Harpy was too big, he was too strong, and he was too powerful for the hawks. And Samita Disanayake had he was the great American bald eagle. He was the sidekick to Lord Giriappa. And these two were not necessarily the 1-2 punch, but I would call it the 1-2 bite, Parthiv. They took a good bite out of the Hawks, and that
mm.
was what killed the Hawks in this particular game. But the Hawks have something to look forward to in the sense that if Vikram is in good form, at least with the ball, well, at least that solves some of the problem because you still can't replace a bowler like Naresh Arakat. I mean, that's very, very tough to replace. So somebody else has to step up, and it looks like our good friend Vikram Reddy Golamari is the man who is stepping up to get the job done. But fantastic game from him. But the Hawks have a problem in the sense that, it needs to be a team effort. Oftentimes, if just Vikram is getting the job done, that's not going to get the job done. But good win for Knockers. But again, I think it was just that 1-2 bite which got the job done. The rest of the Knockers, if you ask me, they produced squat. They really didn't do anything. And these two guys, Lord Harpy and the great man Samita Disanayake. He played a fantastic game, just outshined by Giriappa. Otherwise, good game for both of them. They both took care of the Hawks, if you ask me. That's how I see it. I don't know if you see it any different.
No, I think that is fair. I think Giriappa himself took it on, and I think we've several times seen him with the ball, but this time we all know that he's equally capable with the bat. It's mostly his bowling that takes more of the headlines, but this time around it was his batting which came to the rescue and enabled Knockers to get a respectable score. Uh, so yeah, it was Deepak Giriappa, the batter, who won the contest for Knockers. So a welcome win for Knockers, especially after the debacle they had against GLCC the week before. So back to winning ways after a not so memorable outing with the GLCC. All right, let's move on to the next game. The next game was touted as one of the, if the unofficial kind of showcase game of the week, the United Raptors versus Legends. I was very surprised at the way that uh, the match panned out because I was expecting a close contest and something more than just the 63 runs which United Raptors could accumulate batting first. It was a very dismal performance, if you ask me, from Raptors. They were obviously missing their uh, key batter in the form of Pradeep Bota. I think his batting made all the difference in the last game. But in this game, I think there wasn't any resistance shown by any of the batters. Harsha and Pradeep did score double digits, and Akhilesh towards the end, scoring 10 runs. But overall, I think the batting was poor, and the infusion of a lot of these Bangladeshi players, I think they're still trying to figure out the combination and how to use them. All of them are pretty experienced minded, coming from Hitman, so they are used to the DCL, the DCL conditions, the DCL ball. So it shouldn't be a problem. But I think all in all, I think it was just a bad morning for Raptors. And once they scored those 64 runs, I think, Legends had to just apply themselves. I think just to make sure that they don't lose quick wickets at the top. And I think the start which Hemant and Somit provided, I think just laid that foundation. And again, Raptors no real teeth in their bowling, missing the likes of some of their other premier bowlers from the Raptors. I see a lot of these guys from Hitman kind of taking the show in the bowling department as well. But I think Raptors would need the services of some of their other bowlers like Abhilash and Simonoj. I don't know if Simonoj still there, but I know he was pretty, uh,
You know
you
what?
know,
I thought he moved from that game to a different team. I thought he
different
was
team.
on that team. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw him on some other team. I forget which one. Maybe Fighters. I don't know. My memory can be a little off these days.
Yeah.
I'm not following it
Yeah,
that
so I think,
closely.
yeah, definitely looking at their squad, they look lighter on the bowling side, and this is going to be a difficult situation to face against the big teams. Kiran cannot do all the bowling himself. They need these guys like
I don't think Kiran has been bowling. I haven't seen him bowl this season, and I don't think I saw him bowl last season. I thought he was carrying an injury, and I don't think he has fully recovered from that injury. I thought by adding the hitman, they got Arun, who's a good bowler. They got
Yep.
Iman Kabir, and if I'm not mistaken, they have another one person by the name of Abdul Malik. I'm not sure if I've seen him play this season so far, but another good bowler. So I do think that they have decent bowling there. Uh, I think it's on the batting department when Botta is not there that creates a real problem because somebody else has to step up. And in this particular case, if you ask me if Botta, Mahfouz, and Syed Apulu, have to pretty much carry that team because the others are role players who can stay on one end and get the job done and things like that, and keep the scoreboard ticking to a certain extent. But in this game, I was very happy to see the way Pradeep Anjuru played. I thought he batted really well. Somebody sent me a link of the video of that game, and since there was no Glads game, I started watching that game, and I was really very happy with the way he batted because it's tough batting against the Legends bowling. The Legends bowling is top notch, Partha. If you ask me, I don't
Well,
know. I mean, the only KRCC beats them in the bowling department, if you ask me. I mean, if I had to rate one and two, I would probably rate KRCC one and Legends at number two on the bowling front. So, um, I don't know. Whatever I saw of Legends, and if you look at it, last game, I think they gave two wides, and I thought that was phenomenal. Guess what? This week they gave only one wide.
yep.
And so it's like, these guys are not going to give you anything free. And I always felt, even last year, if you look at it, Glad's closest game was against Legends. We almost lost to Legends, all right? It was just the last wicket. It was the pre quarterfinal game. We could have been knocked out right in the pre quarterfinals. And I think it was a phenomenal effort by Arjun Achpani with that sauce cross that hump. And that was
Mhm.
the last wicket. Arjun pretty much stayed and, got the runs. And I could hear them say, "Hey, Arjun, get out."
Mhm.
But that was the only thing which stopped them from winning that game. And if they had won the game, they could have probably gone all the way to the finals. But
Mhm.
for me, they are a semi-final team, Parthiv. I don't know how you rate them, but I feel the Legends bowling is
Well,
top-notch, miserly and conjuice bowling. That's what I call it. It was a bowling clinic. Hemant Naidu batted, and if you ask me, their batting has improved this year. Hemant has come in, and this game, Samit Numa batted well. And the ex-Glads player, Santosh Kadikuntla, Parthiv, I'm telling you, is a good batsman. Now, he was not clicking on Hitman. Okay, I don't know why he was not clicking on Hitman, but in this game, he clicked and he scored runs and he was not out. And Prashant Pale, he got the job done. I mean, you have to give him the credit on this thing. And I don't know. I think Santosh Kadikuntla had the last laugh because all the hitmen, I think most of them ended up on the Raptors. So it was hitman versus hitman. Well,
yep.
this particular hitman got the last laugh. So congrats to Kadikuntla and company. But Legends got the job done, if you ask me. So once again, Praveen Arikatla, is got the best unit probably of his lifetime. This year's unit.
Yeah, I think a lot of their success will depend on the availability of the likes of Narne and Harish. I think those two guys, if they're available through the season as well as in the playoffs, I think that will matter a lot. I've seen uh, legends dominate the division play, through to the playoffs, but then comes the availability during the playoffs. That's where they have struggled, and maybe it's even choking at the playoffs that has prevented them from going beyond, I think, pre-quarters and quarters. So yes, again, they have a strong unit this year, and they look really good. But again, it will all depend on whether some of these guys are available when it matters.
Yeah,
All right, we are.
for me, I personally think their problem is on that, what's between the years. You see,
Oh.
that's, I mean, in tennis, they say that,
Mhm,
what's between the years so many times decides who wins and who loses. I
mhm,
feel that talent is there, but sometimes their decision making has been questionable. All right. And
mhm,
I've seen them lose games from winning positions. And
mhm,
I believe that they have had some players leave them saying
mhm,
that, these guys are not making the right decisions. But I think, you know what, you can only keep a good team down for so long. Eventually, they are going to break that ceiling. And maybe this is the year they break the ceiling. I do not know. But yes, I think you raised a good question as to about the choking part of it. Well, we'll have to wait and see if they have solved that issue this year, because in the close games, they have come up short, but
mhm.
they have the talent to get the job done. So shouldn't be it's only something between the years which is stopping that.
Yep. Before I move on to the next game, I should welcome Vijay. Vijay has joined us. Thank you, Vijay, for joining this week. Would love to hear your analysis as well. We'll come to you as we progress through Division One first. Let me go on to the next game. Let me go on to Miles versus Thunderbolts. Now, before I'm hearing my echo, so if you want to go on mute. Yep. Uh, yeah. So on this game here, again, MCC Miles, one of the top teams, one of the teams that we always rate very high in the previous seasons, but this year has not been a good start. Yes, they have lost a lot of players, but even psychologically, the team seems to be almost defeated. It feels like they aren't. Yes, they are putting up a team. Yes, they've shown the spirit of actually competing, and not rolling over, but they are not performing at the rate at the level at which we expected Miles to do. This game here was one that I fancied Miles to do well, but Thunderbolts, give credit to them. Coming into Division One and starting. I mean, the start of this game was one to savor for. I mean, they were 4 for 4, and I think in the first over, there was 3 wickets that were down. I remember Avinash, our fellow analyst Avinash Raghu, talking about the other Avinash in the Thunderbolts, and the two Reddy brothers. Just I don't know if they're brothers, but I'll go with them having the same last name, but they created havoc in the first 5 overs, and MCC Miles never really recovered. Yes, Prithvi played a good knock, but 71 was never going to be enough, and Thunderbolts just walked away with a win. I think this would be a very good win for them as they continue seeking going past, maybe playoffs, but at least for now, their goal should be to win as many games as possible. So before I go on to Viju, I'll probably want to go to Vijay, give him a chance to analyze this game. Vijay, how did you see this game?
No, I picked Thunderbolts because mainly
Oh,
because
really?
yeah.
Okay.
Uh, it's mainly because they have added some few pieces that were missing. I know Deepak Bhaskaran is missing.
Mhm,
I think he's due back in this in June. I think midweek of June. So they are winning without Deepak Bhaskaran, which is a good thing for them. Uh, but
mhm,
but I like Vinod's captaincy because he plays with a closed unit. I mean, he recruits players. I don't know where he gets. I mean, he gets those players to play for his team, which is more important than picking some random players and playing, right? So Vinod has that tactic with playing so many tournaments. I mean, if you look at Thunderbolts playing tournaments in all these 3-4 years, they have people want to play for Thunderbolts. I mean, it's become like that, right? Regardless of which tournament they play, DCL or non DCL, they're always forming a team that goes into semis. And again, it's just like they are in semis now. Even the Thana Cup, they were in semifinals. Again, with the team, we have some other. But again, it's another thing is where they're going to make a step up, right? Like, so it's a gradual progression from where 3 years back where Thunderbolts came from. But I have to give it to Vinod for putting this team together. He finds players, man. I mean, that's a good thing about him. That is a lot of effort that a captain has to put to find players. And especially in Division 1, you come and compete and you want to stay relative, right? You don't want to end up on the bottom of the table. I think he has done a good job. So again, going back to that thing, I think Miles have lost a lot of players. Like it's like at one point I knew that Miles wouldn't even put a team together, but all the kudos to Rahul Chenna, who wanted to put this team together, who wanted to maintain Miles as a unit. So hopefully some players will come back next year. Let's see how their progression goes this year. And it's always happens in DCL, like they go 1-2 years to another team and they always come back to the home team. So I'm again, it may be a down year, but I think Miles have to take this as a like a regroup and redevelopment year. And once they show that winning record, I think strikers, part of how to building the team takes time. It's not easy when you lose so many players, so many game changers. So I think and then kudos to Thunderbolts, who's upcoming, and they're trying to knock the door, saying that if we are here, we are going to be relevant. So both teams are, again, one team is on the rising end, another team has lost a lot of players, but still they're competing. So that's what makes this game much more relevant. But again, good job, Miles and Thunderbolts. But good progression for Thunderbolts.
All right. Biju, how do you rate that start which the Reddy brothers gave? I'm sure you have something to say about that.
Parthu, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, Parthu, looks like our friend Vijay has been doing a lot of.
Wait, somebody needs to go on mute.
Parthu, looks like our friend Vijay has been doing a lot of corporate talk, because I heard a lot of corporate jargon from Vijay Shanmugam, all right? He was talking a lot of corporate cricket type of talk. Looks like he's heavily in the committee and he has been doing a lot of conversation like this. I can't help it but pull his leg. You get my point. But good to see him. He looks to be hale and healthy. But Parthiv, in this game, I looked at it. Prithvi scored 38, all right? Extras were 16. The remaining Miles players, 10 players combined together, scored 17 runs. Parthiv, I don't care if you are the Miles skipper. I don't care if Rohit Sharma is the Miles skipper. And I don't care if you bring in the greatest skipper ever to have captained a test captaincy to be the Miles skipper. No skipper can win a game with that kind of production from the remaining 10 players. That's just plain and simple. Thunderbolts bowling, Parthiv, is good. All right. I saw that when we played Thunderbolts a couple of weeks ago. They have that opening pair of Avinash Reddy and Abhinav Reddy, the double A boys, as I call them. They give you triple A sized headaches, Parthiv, for every opponent. And when we escaped out of that game with a win, yes, the scorecard will show that we won with bonus and things like that, but I don't think it was that easy a game. That's what I felt. The Thunderbolts have solid batting in the middle. That's the impression I came away from that game. Especially in the middle order, they have one guy named Santosh Reddy. He is absolutely awesome. All right. And Uma Shankar is another solid player. That guy is a very fiercely competitive player. I like those kind of players who come out and give it their all. And at the end of the day, this is a team. Both those players, I think, are solid additions. I don't think they had them before. And so, yes, as Vijay said, when Deepak Bhaskaran comes into the mix, it's no more Deepak Bhaskaran or Mithilesh Jagannathan carrying this thing. Avinash Raghu comes in, and I think Avinash Raghu really needs to take his time. He is not fully fit. I wondered why he batted the way he batted against us. I, in fact, asked him that question point blank because I've seen Abhirash Raghu play indoors and I have seen some of the finest straight drives I've seen in DCL anywhere when he used to crack those things. I stood there and watched him play that and was just jaw dropping good. And what I
Mhm.
saw in the game against Glads, I wanted to say to Avinash, and your jaw might drop now because I'm going to tell this because Avinash Raghu is a good friend. I honestly felt an imposter was batting as Avinash Raghu. I mean, I really did not like the way he batted. I, in fact, told him also, why did you even attempt that shot? Because that's not his shot. He finds the gaps very well. He can take the singles, doubles, and keep that strike rotating and hold one end up. But somehow he went into this thing. But then later I found out they had this injury, and injury does a lot of strange things, Partho. Your leg doesn't move. And this is
Right.
happening to Arjun. I remember telling Arjun, your leg is not moving. And the moment your leg is not moving, you are half the batsman that you are, or maybe even a quarter of a batsman. Unless if you are Virender Sehwag and have that kind of hand-eye
Yeah.
coordination where you don't need your foot to move and you can
Mhm.
send anything and everything out of the park kind of a thing. But I
Right.
think Thunderbolts will surprise a few teams. But if
Mhm.
this is where I think I have a little bit of difference with Vijay. I think Vinod needs to make the right calls. He has got the talent now, all right? And he has been knocking in a number of finals, all right? I think last year also he came up short against the
Local
finals
ball.
in the Division 2, right? And I think
Yeah.
even in your T90 or I don't know, some of those other things, he has reached all the way to the finals, but unable to cross that final barrier. Now, this is where I think a captain has to go back and look at it and say, hey, what needs to change if the results are not coming in the finals? I'm getting up to the finals, which is a great thing, which 95% of the teams cannot say it. But maybe there needs to be something which needs to change. And I think they can probably put their heads together. But this team, if you ask me, I like everything about that team. They play with the right passion, respectful guys, good, decent guys. They're good cricketers, but they can be a giant killer uh, for many a team. But if Vinod can make the right calls, this team will be a giant killer. But if Vinod doesn't make the right calls, the Thunderbolts, instead of being the Thunderbolts, will become timid Bolts, Parthav. And
Mhm.
they will end up losing the big game when all the marbles are on the line. So, this, I think, is now on the skipper. You can't say, I don't have the talent. They have the talent. Santosh Reddy is an absolutely fantastic point. Uma Shankar is good. You have the two Reddys, the Avinash Reddy and the Abhinav Reddy, both excellent bowlers. Deepak Bhaskaran comes in, Mithilesh Jagannathan does in. I don't know. This is a wonderful team to build on. That's what I feel. But I like their talent, their sportiveness, their composition of the team. I feel it's a great addition to Division 1. I have to give all the credit to Vinod for making a wonderful unit out of this team, and he has built it slowly and steadily. But now the question is, I think he himself has to sit and say, okay, what do I need to do? Or where am I making the mistakes to change the outcome in a final? Because you're getting to the final and you're losing the finals. So the question is, how many finals have I lost? And
Mhm.
looking back and saying, how do I change that outcome there?
Right. And I think they're definitely, as you mentioned, they're moving in this right direction. Coming into Division One, I think their next goal surely should be to stay in Division One, and then if they get a couple of big wins, like they upset the likes of Thunders or KRCC or Fighters. Who knows? They might be in real playoff contention as well. So, long way to go still, but they're definitely moving in the right direction. Let's go on to the next game. The next game was a very surprising result for me. Indus Thunders versus Stingers. Uh, I felt like Stingers have a very good bowling attack. I think they like Detroit Bulls. They are a bowling side altogether. Their batting lacks the depth and the skills, but they are a very fine bowling unit. I've seen them in some of the other tournaments as well. They've rattled people off for really low scores, but they haven't really put score on the board to actually make it possible to defend. Like, not every time IO bowler is going to defend 60s and 50s. It's going to be hard to do that. But they did give Thunders a scare this weekend. I mean, chasing 62, Thunders lost 8 wickets. And I don't know whether they took it easy, or there was a collapse towards the end, but wickets fell in a heap. At one stage, with Naresh and Madhu, I think they were going fine at 2 for 45. But then after that, if you look at the scorecard, wickets just started tumbling. Dinesh, Praveen, Madhu, and then Abhishek all went in a hurry, and then eventually they got across the line, but it was not a performance that you expect from a Thunders. And Thunders is something I want to talk about, uh, you know, during this match also. So Thunders lost a couple of players, like big names like Maulik and Ronak, but they didn't add any new players or any new talent. They kind of brought back some of their. I mean, they lost Bangera too, but they got back a couple of their old stalwarts back in the unit. So yes, their unit is still strong, but I feel like they haven't really got to the next step of recruiting new talent. I was always thinking like Thunders was one team that always keeps growing, and they have Sandeep. I think the absence of Sandeep makes a lot of difference. I think his recruiting is something that he got a lot of players to play for Indus. I remember when Thunder started, it was, I think, a extension of the Indus team, which led by Azim, and it wasn't anywhere competitive. But when he took it to the next level, now I think it's coming back to that stagnation. So I would love to know from you guys, how do you feel? If you guys resonate with what I'm saying, or feel that way, or am I just taking it too hard on Thunders? So Viju, I'll go with you first this time.
Parthu, Parthiv, I cannot agree with you on this one. I'm sorry.
Okay.
First of all, Bangera is on Indus standards. Let's get that point clear. All right. I might be
Okay.
10,000 miles away, but I did see Bangera on the scorecard in one, probably not this game, the game before that. All right. He played for Indus Thunders, which I thought people were telling me, the people were not telling me, but people were saying that he was going to play for Knockers. But Bangera played for Indus Thunders. So let's settle that question first. The second thing is with regards to losing talent, well, they only lost Maulik and Ronak. Now, they retained all their other players, and I think they added one or two other players. I don't think recruiting is also the problem, because I think they are able to maintain their players, and they are also recruiting whatever they need. But I feel, if you ask me, where I think Thunders have lost a step is in leadership. All right.
Mhm.
This is no offense to Pandeti. This is no offense to Manoj Singh. This is no offense to any of the other people who are leading Thunders. You identified and hit the nail on the head when you said that Azim to Sandeep Gopu, and Gopu changed things around. And I think
Mhm.
that is a very important point, because Gopu knew the pulse and needed, he was able to analyze and say, you know what, we need to make this decision, and this is how we are going to go. May
Mhm.
not have to get all the top players, but it's a question of making all of them work together. He got the people with whom he was comfortable with. Abhishek Shankari had his Spartans team at that time. They merged together. It was a merger which worked out very well. Those guys are still playing for Indus Thunders, all right? Whether it is a Madhusudan Haveri or Abhishek Shankari and people like that. So my
Mhm.
point is that I think where they are missing is on that particular one, because when
Mhm.
play Thunders, I think when I go against Gopu, I think it's a different challenge than when I go against any of the other people, because with Gopu, there are a lot of things which I have to analyze as to what Gopu might be thinking. And
Mhm.
I have to see how we can outthink him. But a little bit one dimensional is what I feel when it comes to the others leading the team. They are great players in their own right, Parthiv, but great players may not necessarily be the greatest captains in the play in the first place. But again, if Gopu is not available, what is Thunder supposed to do other than find the next available this thing? I think when Gopu was there, they had everybody else buy in on this thing and
And
get
you're
that
right.
thing.
They've changed leadership a few times. I think Srikant Yarua was also once upon a time a captain, and then Manoj Singh took over. Then this time it's Dinesh. So in the last 3 or 4 seasons, they've had 3 or 4 captains. So yes, that doesn't help as well.
You know, Chrysler almost went bankrupt until they made Lee Iacocca the CEO, right? I don't know if you remember Lee Iacocca, but if people
Yeah.
don't know him, look him up. He brought Chrysler from the brink of bankruptcy and took it into a great company. He left, and Chrysler went down all over again. All right. So the thing is that I do believe that leaders make a big difference. And this is, but in this particular case, let's give credit to Stingers. They bowled really well. But the
Mhm.
problem is they had no solution to the Haveri problem. And Madhusudan Haveri, 22 runs in 32 balls, controlled the game, got enough runs on the board. Uh, but again, let's not be over critical of Thunders. They were playing at half strength, Parthiv. So you're playing in Division 1, and when you're playing at half strength, and if you can still win the game, I would say that that's pretty good. Sure, they did not get the bonus, but again, remember, a number of their stalwarts were not playing this game. Our
Yep.
friend Chetan Dushyantappa was not missing in this game. Bangera did not play this game. I think
Mhm.
Radang did not play this game. There are a few other guys who were missing when I looked at the scorecard. So they had to do with what they had to do. This is
Right.
where somebody raises their hand and says, "You know what? I'm going to get the job done." Vijay raised his hand, 5 overs, 12 runs, 4 wickets. That was
Mhm.
the sting which stung the Stingers, if you ask me. But
Mhm.
ultimately, I don't know. I can't find too much fault when you don't have the best unit. You have to play with what you have and somehow manufacture a win. And I think Thunders did just that. But are they one of the favorites to win the title? Not according to me, because for winning the title, a lot of things has to change, and they haven't shown me yet something which makes me say, "All right, you know what? This is the favorite to win the title, or one of the favorites, all-out favorites to win the title," kind of a thing.
I agree. I think I wouldn't rate them myself as one of the favorites. Yeah, outside chance to get into the semifinals because they have some big players. But some of the players are have been there, done that, and they are big match players. Manoj Singh, Dinesh, Chetan. They have similar seasons where they performed in those critical, crucial games. So yes, an outside chance, but yes, not title favorites for me right now.
Parthiv, I don't know. There's a person by Akira who has written, just wanted to say huge thanks to you guys for
Oh,
insightful analysis of DCL, the way you break down the games, highlight key moments, really elevates the whole experience for us to play in this league. Well, thank you, Akira. I don't know who it is, but whoever it is, we thank him for the comment.
absolutely. Yes. And keep sending us feedback, sending us comments. We'd love to hear from you and love to hear how we can make it better, and if there are anything highlights of the games that we might have missed out, because we can't be there on every game. Send us a comment. We can definitely want to give a shout out to the team, shout out to the player, or maybe even highlight that moment if you have a video. So, all right, next game would be something which I think Vijay would be dying to talk about. I'm sure is the FCC versus Dynamites game, and I think this
You,
was
you
probably
you didn't
the.
hear my comments on the previous game.
All right, if you want to go, I thought we covered it well, but
No,
if you
no,
have
yeah,
some.
yeah, yeah. You guys had a
Partha,
good idea.
Partha, all right. You want to know the power of the show? I talked
Yeah.
about Gopu, and Gopu has texted me, Partha. So he says, he Viju just wanted to say hi after a long time. I hope to be on the field soon. All right.
Oh,
That's when I will change my opinion of Indus Thunders. I want to see Gopu on the field. And sometimes I push people. And you know what? I have something for Vicky today. All right. I'm gonna sting Vicky today. And we're gonna push Vicky, and I'm gonna put
either
our friend Vijay Shanmugam on the spot. All right. I'm gonna put him on the spot. But that's gonna be later in the show. And but
Uh-oh.
anyway, the thing is that he has got his ACL surgery in December, so he hoped to be back soon. For those who are looking to see Gopu on the field, well, we have an answer. All right. So passing on the answer live. But Vijay, please go ahead. We are looking to hear FCC versus Dynamites. Stingers versus Thunders. I think we covered it.
yes.
Well, let's hear it from the horse's mouth on FCC versus Dynamites.
Yeah, I'm not pretty impressed with the Dynamites win. Again, like that last weekend that we played, absolutely super cool, right? I think it applies to all the 17 teams that played on that weekend. And uh, again, playing in a field like in Ann Arbor, it was like uh, yeah, again, like nothing against any teams, but like the pitches are getting bad, and then we had never won the last 8 tosses for Dynamites. I don't know what is happening with Dynamites. Either why we are losing these tosses.
Vijay, you're not the skipper. You're not going for the toss. You don't even
Yeah,
show up on the scorecard. Well,
yeah,
how in the
but I
world
know
can you
what the
win a toss, man? If I were you, I would fire Arun Selvaraj in a heartbeat, and I would say, Arun, gone. You see you later.
I
Bye
look,
bye.
go to the game. I do the toss. I'm not the skipper, but I do the toss,
Oh,
and that's what my team.
oh, so we can't blame Arun Selvaraj. Oh no,
Oh,
Parthu, this is bad. I wanted to blame Arun Selvaraj. All right.
again, yeah. Coming back to the game again, like I mean, FCC has also lost a lot of players last season. But again, like we always struggle, against good teams or whatever, like Division 1 teams. We always struggle to get to the score. I mean, FCC batting first. I mean, they won the toss. They batted first. Yeah, they didn't have a good start, but then Murli played a little bit of good innings. But then they were folded out for 57 odd runs. But again, there were a lot of decisions with the FCC also in their captainship. Who's going to lead FCC? I know Bhuvan is leading FCC again. For him, it's also a new team. Who's going to bat where? They are missing a lot of pieces. But again, so we took advantage of those things. For me, it is more like getting them all out, because ours is not a good batting unit, to be very honest. We know if like when we struggle to get runs, even with a good batting unit, or mediocre batting unit, whatever you call it. I mean, scoring runs in DCL is in Division 1. It's getting tougher and tougher, especially in the conditions that but again, I see a game next round they score 188 runs, man. Like Division 2 game, like Phantoms were scoring 188. I'm like, what the hell? you know,
Well, Division
it-
One, I think we are playing. We are playing on pitches. I mean, it's always the case in the start of the season where it's not dry. So once the summer, the sun breaks down, it becomes more drier. I think
no,
it.
no, this is a weird spring for me. I'm sure for everybody else. I mean, even
Yeah,
if the May is not heating up, so
correct.
I mean, we are hoping June should heat up. So again, like we try to restrict our mistakes basically, but still we couldn't restrict our mistakes. I mean, I think exceptional that stood out for us was Raj Satish Shankara's brother. 5 overs, 4 maidens, three runs and 2 wickets. I think the exceptional states that I'm very proud of. I even told him, like this is one of your best outings. I mean, if you can, I mean, it's not going to happen every week, but give accolades to where it matters. Very well balled. And then coming to batting again, we again keep struggling. I mean, we scored like 20 runs in first 2 overs, and then we got stuck at 30 runs. Like 30 for one, 30 for two, and that's what the mentality we are trying to do is like everybody wants to go for the hit, and I'm like, like where are you guys hitting? I mean, you're playing against the wind, and what are you trying to hit? I mean, you cannot clear it. We know that. So why are you trying to
Hmm.
hit the ball? So again, it's again the batting in Division One. It's a mentality issue. It also takes a lot of pressure, right? Like so, you cannot expect a guy going on eighth down and ninth down to go and win you games all the time because end of the day it comes to the top 4 or 5 batsmen. I mean, it happens to Glads and it happens to every other team in DCL. So again, how do we manage that pressure? Again, the pressure shouldn't be built up to the eighth or ninth guy to go and hit those runs. Again, there were some things that I could have done better or Arun could have done better with the batting lineup. But again, it's a batting mistake that we couldn't finish the game that what we expected it to be. But at the end of the day, we're happy with taking the 5 points, and the outcome of the game is better right now, and then we can improve all the time.
All right. I know a lot of the DCL fraternity is eager to know about the two new recruits that you have, the two Muhammads, Muhammad Hassan Khan and Muhammad Kazanfar. Talk to us about where you got these guys from. I know lately you've been a master recruiter, getting these fast, fierce bowlers from somewhere. Talk
I
to us
don't
about
think
these
So
guys.
I don't think Mohammad Gun Safar is a fast bowler. He's a spinner, right?
yeah,
All right,
Okay.
I haven't
yeah.
seen. I just assumed these guys are just fast bowlers. Like everybody in Pakistan, I feel is a fast bowler.
He has five.
So
He has five fielders around the bat. I mean, or was it just for one ball? I mean, I thought he had it for his entire
Oh
over.
yeah, we saw that screenshot. Yes. What
Yes.
was that?
Explain that to us, Vijay.
again, it's a leg spinner, and then we are trying to. I mean, the batsman is not able to play that shot. So yeah, and then all the shots were going in the in the catching area where we didn't have players. They couldn't hit him on the leg side. So we put 5 fielders. Just to put more pressure.
Okay. No, that's fine. I mean, that's what bowlers and fielding skippers are supposed to do, right? Make life
Yeah.
uncomfortable for the batsman. There's nothing wrong with
Nice.
that.
It's good to watch, but again, so again, Hassan has played last year. Last year he played for us. Gazanfar Bai is like playing first year for us. He's a leg spinner again. Uh, I mean, again, he's trying to learn the T ball. He has played leather ball before, but he hasn't played T ball here. So that was his second game for now. But yeah, good guy again, a good person. Always cheering for the team.
Nice. All right, Vijay, do you want to add anything, or should I go to the next game?
I just wanted to say that, your Murli and Ranjit scored 25 runs between those two guys, and the extras was 934. But the rest of FCC scored only 23 runs. This is the same thing we said about Miles. The remaining 10 players or 9 players have to come up with something. And That's not happening for you. Can't expect Sujan to become Michael Jordan every single game and do what he
Right.
did in game one against local boys. You see, he won them that game, but how many times are you going to be able to do that? But again, I thought this was a clinical win for Dynamites. If Arun Selvaraj is the skipper, then he deserves all the credit, even though I was trying to pin the blame for losing the toss on him. But that's me. I see an opportunity, I take that opportunity. But nothing against Arun other than, hey, he deserves all the credit for a solid 5 point win. He used his bowlers well. I thought the two bowlers, for Rajkumar, 5 overs, 4 maidens, 3 runs, 2 wickets. How often do you see that? 5 overs and 4 maidens, Parthiv. That means he gave
Yep.
only 3 runs in that 1 over, and he took the 2 wickets. And Mohammad Khan suffered 5 overs, 6 runs, and 2 wickets. That means between those two guys, they had 10 overs, 4 maidens, and 9 runs and 4 wickets. You see, that's top notch bowling. So the Dynamite's bowling has been on top, as Vijay has been saying, but it's the batting end where they are not clicking. Now, whether they're trying to hit it against the wind and getting out caught, that portion I do not know, Vijay. If that's what Vijay says is happening, then that's what is happening, because obviously I have not seen the game close. So we have to take Vijay at his word that that's the mistake the Dynamites are making. But let's hope that they keep continuing making that same mistake for 2 more games.
I know why you
Okay.
say that, right?
Yeah, but by now Parthiv is also smart enough to know why I would have said that.
Well,
No,
it'll be a great game when you guys face off each other.
yeah. Like happy to, upcoming games are going to be a critical. I mean, for me, it is more like a playoff games, right? Like, or at least, matching. I mean, every game in Division One is going to be, like as part of you, we talked. It's going to be a cracker of a game, right? Like the best teams
Yep.
win, the best
Parthiv,
championship win.
Parthiv, Lingappan wants to play that game at all costs. That's what Vijay told me. All right. But I have news for Lingappan. Who is he playing against? The man Satya is in India. So Lingappan is going to get no
Oh my
satisfaction
God.
in playing that game.
Yeah, it goes back to history, right?
So whatever
Wow.
satisfaction Lingappan is looking for, he'll have to wait for one more season.
Right.
Because
But
the
yeah,
man, his arch rival Satya is in India. The other guy is also in India.
yeah. I'm sure I don't think he'll get satisfaction with playing Satya. I think it would have to be one of us, either me or you, that he would like to spare off. Satya is too good a guy.
No, but Satya was the guy he threatened, you see. So finally, Satya got fed up and said, "Do what you want to do, man. Go, then leave me alone."
Well, that was one.
I didn't know that background. Okay.
Well, that is one episode. If I had to choose primetime episode to go out,
I
go and
think that
read,
had the
I would watch
maximum
that.
thing, right? Like maximum views, in my opinion.
That got a lot of views and a lot of people talking. I know that.
Yeah, we were there. Yeah.
All right, let's go to the
All
next
right.
game. The next game was the champions of Division 2 versus the finalists of Division 1, local boys versus stars. Now, this was a cracker of a game. Talking about low scores, what low scores? You see here, 127 scored by local boys, and stars almost uh, were in the running for chasing that. But to be honest, stars, losing 3 games out of 3, I'm sure nobody would have betted or nobody would have thought that at the start of the this 2025 season. But with the shakeup of the team, losing a lot of these players, the creation of knockers, it's almost like a parallel team to stars, uh, and the unavailability of a few players. Like I don't see Amar yet. I don't know if he's still around. I've heard rumors that he's moved, but it looks really, really, really sorry state for stars. I mean, they're still a decent unit, no question about it, but it is too much for them to kind of repeat that performance from 2024. I don't see them, to be honest, at right now. Even playoffs seems to be a very uh, difficult situation for them to even contemplate. Uh, you know, right now it looks like Stars really need to get some wins in, otherwise it's going to be really hard. And the one good thing I would say is that we play them next, so I hope that they continue their losing streak and give us a win and keep us into that contention for the playoffs. So local boys, on the other hand, I think like Thunderbolts, they are on the upward trend. The momentum that they are carrying from that Division 2 into Division 1 is definitely rubbing up on them. They've got a couple of really good finds. What's heartening about the scorecard and the game, you see, local boys are scoring without Srinivas contributing. He just contributed 1 year, but it was so many different members. I mean, team. It's truly a team effort here. You have Dinesh, and you have Sanjeev, and you have Srinivas, and you have Love and Anupam. All double-digit scores. All of them kind of just added up to score to post that 127 target. And the Stars bowling unit, I mean, it looks like this bowling unit from probably what, 2008, 10 or something. You see Raghu Tadi coming back in. I don't know when I've seen him do bowling. It's been a while. Imtiaz, obviously, he's there, but he's not as the Imtiaz that we know of. Age is slowly catching up as well. Narendra Ane, he got a stick as well. 37 runs of his 5 overs. But all in all, I mean, it wasn't the bowling unit that we are so used to looking at Stars. So I feel at this point of time, I would rate them as not going into the playoffs. Uh, so I'll go to Viju. How about or maybe let's switch it up. Let's go to Viju first.
Yeah, yeah. So Partho, I'm just looking at their current roster. They added few players now. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know.
Who
It's
did they
now
add?
they're. I don't know. I mean, I see they're like now they're at 28. When I played them, it was around 23. So I think they added some players now.
Oh,
So
they
Yeah,
added.
well, that's par for the course, right? I mean, every team as they go along suddenly find that we don't have 11 players. They go out and get 2, 3 players, but I don't think
Yeah,
that's
so I
earth-shattering.
think yeah, I don't know. I mean, I cannot decipher this thing, but again, definitely they added I don't know who's Fayaz Likhan.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah,
they
others.
added him. Um,
I
Akshat.
have one question. What is
Oh
Sushil
yeah,
Bhatt doing?
there's like few players that have been added. Like as I said, like I played them last game, so I looked at their roster. Now their roster looks more players now. So again, I think they are Satya, Chanta, Amar. Their core players are Ravi Teja. They are not still there yet, in my opinion. I think that's where they are like trying to fill those voids. Whoever have left, like Deepak Giripa, Arun Lavakumar, and everybody. So they are trying to build that team back with from filling fillers. Uh, but I don't know.
Do you know
That's
anything
what I
about
have.
Amar? Do you know anything more about Amar than I have heard, like the rumor?
You know something? I got
Amar
a
Amar played
text.
here in this
Yeah.
week in Thana
Yeah,
Cup.
that's
Oh,
what I
yeah.
also got. I have a
Yeah,
scoop on that. I have a scoop on that.
Wow.
We'll bring that at the end of the show. All right. I had a scoop. Somebody sent me a scoop and asked me to bring it up on the primetime show as to
yeah.
how do
He
you
played.
stop Amarendra Nuwala. He's supposed to be a hitter who cannot be stopped, and yet apparently he was stopped. So the question was, how do you stop Amarendra Nuwala? And I have a solution for you, Partho, in case you are wondering how
Wow.
to stop Amar.
But to answer my query, he's in Michigan, right?
He was always. I mean, he moved to Texas. What I know, right? I'm telling what I know.
Yeah.
And then I think when he I think his better half was working here in Michigan. I think now he is moving to Michigan. But again, he's playing both leagues. In I think he was in Texas before, but now I think he's trying to see how to manage that both. I don't know if he completely moved to Michigan or not, right? Like completely dedicated to Michigan leagues or
Hmm.
going back to Texas leagues. Not sure.
Okay.
Well, didn't
So
his
that's
team
that's all
win?
I know.
Didn't his team win the Tana Cup? Oh, Vijay Shanmugam has frozen up. It looks like.
Well, if he played in the Tana Cup, then maybe he's back, or maybe he's for that weekend or
No,
something
not
that he's.
just played. He won the cup, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay. So I mean, I just heard from the rumor mills that he had moved, but it may be one of the two. It could be that he's here for that long weekend and he played it, or he might be back in Michigan.
Okay.
Either way, but yeah, uh,
I don't think you got the full analysis from our friend Vijay Shanmugam, and he has now
yes,
disappeared. So looks like
he is online. Yeah, yeah.
I'll have
Let's
to
go
do the
over it.
analysis.
Yeah, yeah.
Parthiv, there is nothing local about the local boys. That's my
Yep.
analysis. All right. Because they call themselves the local boys. But if you ask me, the DCL committee, if you were a member, you should have started a signed petition to change their name to Alien Predators. All right. Not local boys, Alien Predators. Well, game one, FCC's Michael Jordan, or Sujan, all right, ensured that these predators snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. But that was the only hiccup, if you ask me, because against KRCC, which is I consider the top bowling attack in DCL, they scored 80 runs, which is more than what Glatz could score against KRCC. So for me, that means this batting lineup is a good batting lineup. Stars is a very good bowling attack. Somehow I have to disagree with you on a few of your comments on the Stars bowling attack because
Hmm.
they gave up 127 runs to these guys. So why do I call them predators? Because Parthiv, I have a simple answer for that. Srinivasan Elumalai and Sheikh Mohammed did not score in this game, Parthiv, or hardly tickle the scorecard, all right? They did not do much, but yet Dinesh, Sanjeev, Upalapatti, Love, and Anupam scored runs in bunches. Narendra Ane, who's a top bowler, he was made to look pedestrian by these guys. 5 overs, 37 runs. Yes, he picked up 2 wickets, but that's a very mighty, expensive 37 runs given in 5 overs. That's like a bowler giving 45 runs in 4 overs in IPL. All right. Now, Ane, to his credit, scored 46 runs in 37 balls. Shashank and Imti batted well. All right. Now, Imti has been batting very well this season, if you ask me. And this is where I do not know what I have to make of what you said that Imti is not the same bowler of old. Because if I had Vijay Shanmugam, I would have asked him this question. And that's why I'm a little ticked off that he disappeared when the moment was ripe. Because his batsmen, remember, 2 weeks ago, we had this question where his
Hmm.
batsman went and he was hit by a fast ball from Imti so fast that the bat was knocked out of the hand and the player was injured and the bat hit the wicket and the batsman was out. Now, for me, that has to be pretty fast for you to be able to do that. So, according to me, either I don't know what wine Mr. Imtiaz Mohammed is drinking
Well, it
because
may be bitter.
he's the local Rawalpindi Express, Parthiv. I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
well, I haven't played him this year, so I can't say. Maybe he's done something to his bowling this year, but until last year, I didn't feel like he was. I mean, like he and I kind of start and go together, so I can see his wear and tear also coming through. But who knows? He might have done something which I don't know about. But yeah, I would have loved to know from Vijay what about that ball, because yeah, he showed me a picture of that guy, and he had a red eye or a black eye almost.
okay,
So
now tell me, if I bowled that to that guy, you think that fellow will have a red eye? No, he wouldn't have a red eye. Imtiaz bowls, I can believe that. I can assure you, if I bowled, there wouldn't even be a mark, all right? Let me tell you that. So, I don't know. So I don't know what you guys are telling about no speed there, because the for him to have a black eye and red eye and bat to ricochet off the hand and get knocked off and land on the wicket, that's space.
But
But you know what?
but I think the bigger problem I have with Stars unit is not Imtiaz in particular, but it's just the number of players that I see. They're almost taking that age factor too much, like pushing it to that. You have Hari, you have Mahesh, you have Sai, you have Imtiaz, and Raghu, and then also I don't know how and from where. Sushil Bhatt is also in the squad. So I've never seen him play DCL, and I know he's a veteran. He's quite he's been the Michigan president, and his age is also quite on the higher side. So I'm not sure of how all of these guys are going to take Stars.
I'm sure this show is going to be cut into small sizes and sent to Sushil. All right. And Sushil Bhatt is going to be coming to one of your DCL night shows and is going to ask you, Parthiv, what in the world are you talking?
Well, I just feel like I don't know how all of these, like, a couple of guys. Last year, I remember we were debating whether even Hari can be in the side for Stars, like come playoffs. Now, if Stars go into playoffs, do you think? I mean, it's going to start impacting their team dynamics and the fielding and the just it's going to definitely impact. So I don't know how you can accommodate so many players of that.
Vijay, would you mind putting it on mute, or I don't know, switching off the show while you're on air, because I think that's what is causing the feedback. But Parthiv, can I give a shout out to my friend Raghu Tadi? 5 overs,
Yes.
22 runs, 4 wickets. All right. I like it. You know what? When I saw the 4 wickets, I remember texting in the Glads group. All right. I remember texting in the Glads group, and I said, you know what? Raghu Tadi, these are the figures. All right. And he's aging like fine wine, is what I said. I'll tell you what. Anup Bokhare texted right back and said, you know what? Raghu is back. All right. Dollar Dhanasekaran sitting in India says, oh, he's a fantastic bowler. He's underutilized by himself. All right. This is the comments which were flowing in the Glads group. So sometimes maybe Hari Parankusam and Raghu Tadi needs to hear this, because sometimes we need to know what the opponent is thinking of us, not what we think of ourselves. What is our opponent thinking of it? According to me, Hariharan says he's underutilized himself as a bowler. I say he's underutilized as a batsman too. Raghu Tadi can bat, Parthiv, and he has a sharp cricketing brain. Let me tell
Yep.
you, Parthiv, I do not know if you know this. Nobody in DCL can touch Raghu Tadi's record. And that record is, it is a 16-0 season. Undefeated season in the history of DCL has only been done once in the history of DCL, and I don't think it'll ever be done again. All right. I don't know. Maybe some team might do it, but I find it very difficult to do.
Raghu Tadi was in the team of true Galatasaray, right? They were all like unbelievable team. Like they had the likes of Gautam and Vinod and Bangera and Aditya and like so many big names that I guess Raghu got overshadowed a lot of times, even when he was a key contributor or he actually did something special. It didn't get highlighted enough for that star-studded megabytes unit.
But you know what's part of, despite all these things, I have had a tiff with Raghu Tadi. And you want to know why I had a tiff with Raghu Tadi. So maybe sometimes it's better to hear this too. Because you know what? For the longest time, somebody might not have understood why I had this tiff with Raghu Tadi. Now, this happens to relate to your friend or your former friend, Minesh. All right. And Minesh was a character, and Strikers and Warriors had just split up. All right. Warriors had a game with Megabytes. All right. And that was the first game of the season. And Warriors won that game. All right. And that was a shocker because Here was Megabytes coming off an undefeated season or whatever it was, and they
Right.
are the defending champions, and they lost in round one, game one itself. And Minesh rubbed it in, and anyway, there was a big fight in that game. All right, in
Mm.
that game, all right, Raghu Tadi was slapped. All right, and Raghu Tadi was in
Oh,
the committee.
I remember.
Okay, he got, and you know what? So I was playing in the neighboring ground, and all this we all got around, and there was a lot of conversation and things like that, and then things like that, and then I was thinking, what is going to happen? I now remember I am a competitor of Raghu Tadi. Megabytes and Glads have their battles and things like that, but at the end of the day, Raghu Tadi is a class character, and Raghu Tadi is a wonderful player, but an even better person. Now, I was not
Yep.
very happy that Raghu Tadi got slapped. So, remember those times I used to write the EP poll, and I had a quick pen. So, what happened was I was waiting to see what's going to happen. You're right. I was thinking, okay, let's see how this going to happen. Raghu is in the committee. Minesh is, this thing. And I clearly felt Minesh was not right to do it. Minesh deserved to be suspended. That's what I felt. Not for the season, but at least one or two games just to get the point across that you can't cross a certain line. That's my position then. That's my position even today. But you know what? Magically they all talked amongst each other and decided to settle things off, and they said, oh, we're withdrawing everything. It was just a jadu ki japi. That's the exact word used. Okay, jadu ki
Yeah.
japi. And then I
Yeah.
got so now this is where I got really mad. I didn't care about my friendship with Raghu Tadi. I didn't care about anything else. I took the pen and I let Raghu have it left and right. Now Raghu didn't like it. I don't care. But you know what? What really hurt me was I felt this was a class character and he didn't deserve a slap. And you know what? I'm going to let him have it if he is not going to stand up for himself, because I needed him to stand up for himself. Years later, you want to know, Parthiv, how
Hmm.
much I respected Raghu? Let me tell you something. This is honest to God truth, as God is my witness. There was a election or the decision to decide who gets the lifetime achievement award. The two candidates was myself and Raghu Tadi. I had a vote. Believe it or
Mhm.
not, Parthiv, I voted for Raghu Tadi. That's how much I respected that guy. Because at the end of the day, Parthiv, there are some guys, they really added tremendous value to this thing. You have to respect them. And I honestly felt they should not be slapped. And if they are slapped, you know what? Let's get together and settle things and say that, you can't do that. You know what? For lesser things, people have been suspended. You know what? I don't care if you're Minesh, and I don't care what you do, and I don't care what company you own and how much money you have. At the end of the day, respect that person, because that guy is a class act. And so that's where I stood. I still feel the same way about Raghu Tadi. I think he's a wonderful bowler, underutilized, as Hari Aran said, as a bowler, but I also think underutilized as a batsman. And he's a team first player. That's why you'll find that even in this game, he went at number 11. But if you ask me, if I was the skipper, he would be going a lot higher than number 11. But because it is Raghu Tadi will never say a word, and he'll just
Mm.
keep quiet and just accept it. But you know what? I'll tip my cap to him. 16 and 0 season will never again be done. He's a class act in DCL. I am happy that he got the 4 wickets. But you know what? There were a lot of people in Glads cheering him on for this wonderful show which he put on. And I thank Hari Parankusam for enabling Raghu Tadi to get that what he deserved today. So congrats to Raghu. And even though they lost the game, okay, let's move on.
Yep. Yeah. But I think one thing Raghu would not appreciate today is like you told the entire world that he was slapped. So not many people knew
Well,
about it.
Well,
Once.
there's a lot of people who know about it, but you know what? It's okay. But you know what, Parthu? Let me tell you something. If you slap me, it's not me who suffers the loss. It's you who suffers the loss, because it shows that you are not the right kind of person. It's not the person who got slapped who takes the
Right.
beating. If you really took at it, yeah. a mature person will say, you know what, the person who is doing the slapping, he has no business to cross that line, and that doesn't speak well of him. That's my personal opinion. You can come and
Yeah.
slap me. I don't think it reduces even one bit of degree from this thing. But the person doing the slapping, that's the person who really doesn't get the respect from others. Others will say, you know what, look at the great guy. That guy, he took it pretty coolly, which actually Raghu did take it coolly. I was mad that he took it coolly.
So another thing about Raghutadi is like I played with him for so many years, right? And again, when we introduced to Parthiv knows this Hall of Fame, there was this big board behind our in the whole auditorium that says Raghutadi's name. So again, he's a big guy in the community, and again, I think kudos to all the old guys. Like as Kohli said, you know, we are not gold, right? I mean, we are still gold. We are not bold, but we are still gold. So I think that's what DCL with the Hari is bringing back here. But again, like guys like Raghutadi, again, like a lot of guys, from where we saw cricket growing up. I didn't know this event even happened, right? I mean, this was a unique event.
Like I said,
But
everyone. But
huh?
but I think him coming back and now playing, I think it's and playing so well is astonishing. It's now it begs the question as to why he wasn't playing enough. And some of these guys, I don't know, somehow have left at times when they should have still played and still continued and could have contributed, like Sainath, right? I consider him in the same era. He's looking fitter than like every year I see him, and he still contributes. So a lot of these guys have a lot of still
Yep.
a lot of energy and things that they can give back. So they shouldn't be quitting so early.
Yeah. No, I still see some of the Javed Bhai playing for Hurricanes,
Oh yeah,
right? Javed Bhai has
yep.
been playing forever and ever. It's like a Javed Bhai.
And a lot
Did
of
you get
people.
old? No,
Yeah,
he still goes every day. He still grinds stuff. Yeah. So,
yep.
again,
Well,
kudos for Hari to bring him back.
yeah. So I think before we end the Division One, one of the things that I would love to know from you: Stars, with its present situation, 3 out of 3 losses. Do you guys seriously consider them as challengers or pretenders?
Can I
With
go?
everything,
Uh, yeah.
players coming in, players going out, who's available, we
Oh,
don't know. Like if Amar is going to come back, all those kinds of things are open.
yeah, I think from what I know about Hari, he will always try to win the next game. That's what he will think about, right? End of the day, when you lose so many games, right? Like you always have to focus on the next game. Okay, let's win one game at a time. Let's see the combination if it works out or not. We don't know it will work out, but again, as a captain, Partha, if you lose 3 games, you will think, okay, chalo, let's focus on one game, right? Like we were talking that one game where we were sitting down and you were telling me, maybe
Good.
we should be like we should be like GLCC. We should just combine teams and then we should play. And then all of a sudden you beat GLCC the next week. It just takes on. So Biju, this is a story. Okay, me and Parth, I was umpiring and Parth was playing this game against Bulls, right? Bulls. If
It
I'm
was that same game where I was haunting and hounding him for giving us the smallest ever ground in DCL.
but Bulls went and scored so much runs, and then me and Partha were sitting and talking. Partha was saying, you know what, we should be like GLCC, man. We should just all combine together. Whatever our funda is wrong, yaar.
Well,
but,
that is
but the,
one way.
yeah, no. But what I loved Partha is like the dugout was happy.
Yeah,
They were not, they were not like yeah, yeah. I mean, they were not doing that.
yeah,
The dugout was happy.
that never happens until I'm there. I think that'll never happen. The dugout will never
Because
be.
that's the one thing that every team is missing. The dugout has to be happy. The happy
Yeah,
dugout will always try to come back and win. And you beat the same guys the next week. So again,
correct.
sure, Stars will. do the same thing. They have to find the core.
All right, let's see what Viju has to say. Viju, challengers or pretenders at this stage?
I will never doubt an all-time great at recruitment and never count him out. That's how I feel. Would I ever count out Nadal? Would I ever count out Djokovic? Would I ever count out Federer? The answer is no. And if you ask me, one of the greatest recruiters of talent in the history of DCL is Hari Parankusam. And
Yep.
yes, there might be three losses, but you know what? I would never count him out. I'll tell you that much. I know the man enough to know that you know what, he'll fight till the end. Now I do not know how much some people have been saying about Mercedes-Benz relocating and all those things. I'm sure all of you guys have also heard it.
Yep.
It's there in the newspapers or something. I do not know how much that is going to impact stars and things like that, given that most of their players are from Mercedes-Benz and things like that. That we do not know. All right, that's one of the downside of having too many players from one particular organization. Remember, long back there was a team called Titans, not our Titans, but there was a Titan a
Yeah.
long time back. They all
Yeah.
were working in Chrysler when Chrysler folded or got rid of, decided to go to TCS route or something like that. All of them were out of a job, and then the whole team
Yep.
disappeared. So I do not know how much that impacts Hari. No, that would be a huge shock, right? That's a exogenous shock, and so that I'm not sure. But I wouldn't count out an all-time great. Let me tell you that. I mean, you do that to your downfall to do something like that. I mean, never underestimate one of the all-time greats. That's how I would say.
Fair enough. I think that's definitely something that Hari deserves and has earned it. So definitely we won't put a doubt on it. But definitely, I think what he would be, putting his thinking cap on right now. 3 out of 3 losses. He needs to change some things and needs to figure out a way to win to keep that momentum or keep that enthusiasm amongst the team. And stars, finalists last year, so they carry a big reputation. So hopefully, Hari has some answers for us next week. But let's move on to the Division 2 now. We finished Division 1. We're going to cover 3 of the top games that happened for Division 2. I think the first game I want to cover, because I know this is the game that we probably want to take a little more time, is the Avengers versus Gujarat Warriors. Now, this was a game that I would pay real money to actually watch, because I think this was a game that doesn't happen too many times, and when it happens, you want it to be recorded, but we haven't got the privilege of looking at the recording. I would love to have even got a chance to see this game in on if not live. But this was a game that somehow Gujarat Warriors found a way to lose. I think Avengers, all credit to them, they scored 109. But at one point of time, with Salman going berserk, scoring at 145 strike rate, it looked like a cakewalk for Gujarat Warriors. The stop, Gopal Patel started well, Arvind, and then Salman took it on. And then suddenly it was as if something had happened, and some epidemic had suddenly been announced and everybody wanted to run. I mean, if you look at the last 5 wickets, it was hardly any run scored, and the last 3, if I'm not mistaken, went in the last over, in the same over itself. So something must have happened dramatically to cause this kind of a collapse. Oh, sorry, last 4 wickets in the last over. So something must have happened terribly for Warriors to lose in this manner. But I would love to add to hear your comments, Viju. I know you were following this game on WhatsApp. Uh, did you see this as a the as you would call it, the what is the heist of the decade?
I have some interesting observations, Parthu. So let me have a whole bunch of notes on this one. All right. So I'm not going to cover the other two games. I'll let you and Vijay cover those two games. I'm just going to focus on this in the interest of time. So I'll let's go with this. The setup, Parthiv. Avengers had Venkata, Venu Atluru, Raja, Natraj. They all batted well, all right? So we have to give them credit. Now, I understand that one person is going to take most of the credit, but remember, cricket is a team game. These four guys batted very well because they had to set up a decent total, right? Good solid score. 109 is a good solid score. Chintan Patel of Gujarat Warriors is the skipper. He needs to have a Chintak session, Parthav. He needs to have a thinking session because some of the bowling moves which he made did not make a lot of sense. Now, maybe he felt that they could score those runs very easily. Now, Gautam Shamala, who is a former Glads player, is the skipper of the Avengers. He is no dummy, all right? He's a smart guy and he's a smart cookie and he has the Glads experience, having been inside the Glads, this thing. He knows how some of our brains work. He also knows how we motivate our players. He knows what we think and things like that because he has seen it firsthand. So he should not be taken lightly. He has this Avengers unit believing in themselves. Now, for the Warriors, Salman Sarasai had a whale of a game, absolute whale of a game, monster game. 62 runs in 43 balls, Partha, with 8 humongous sixes. All right. And when this man hits the ball, it is difficult to find the ball. It's that kind of hitting. All right. They also had good batting by Arvind and Gopal, And so the thing is, the Warriors, I had the Gujarat Warriors winning the game. And when 24 overs were done, the score read 108 for 5. All right, you need only 2 runs. And you have, there are enough wickets in hand. You get my point. And I'm thinking, okay, I have Gujarat Warriors winning. I'm winning this point. I'm all set. Satya, my friend, had picked Avengers. He is going to go down. I would have caught up with him. All right. That's how I'm looking at it. Well, then the 25th over starts. And just before the 25th over, the last ball of the 24th over, Salman takes a double. Now, that is where I felt, why did you have to take a double? All right. This is just me talking to myself. This is even before I texted you guys in our WhatsApp group. I'm thinking, why did he take a double? Because I would rather take a single and you are already at 62, maybe hit a 6 and finish the game off, or hit a 4 and finish the game off. Why do you want to give the opportunity to a new batsman who has just come in? But I felt, you know what, 5 wickets in hand and you have 6 balls and you need only 2 runs, big deal. I'm sure the others can bat and definitely no big deal. And then Parthav, what happened is the greatest over in the history of DCL in Division 2. Yeah. I'm not going to say Division 1, but Division 2, this is the greatest over ever bowled in DCL history. And if you ask me, that was the game of the season because I never saw something what I saw. I couldn't believe it when the first 2 wickets fell. I'm thinking this is becoming interesting, but still there is 3 more balls and you need only 2 more runs. But Salman never got a chance to leave the non-strikers in. Atish Dahitule, the man's name can never be forgotten. His name is going to be etched in DCL folklore because that is the kind of game he had. 5 overs, 1 maiden, 20 runs, 3 wickets. But the last over read wicket, dot, wicket, dot, wicket, wicket. Dahi Thole, if you ask me, Parthiv, 8 Gujaratri Dahi. You know what Dahi is. Dahi Thole ate Dahi, which is curd, for breakfast. And he became the warrior of warriors by lunchtime, Parthiv. Daitole is the undoubted king of DCL in week 3. No other doubt about that. Take a bow. I do not know if it's a young man, old man, middle-aged man, whatever it is. Take a bow, young man. That's what I can say. What a performance. What an absolute beast of a performance. It is one for the ages. And you know what, Parthiv? If I could have that kind of a performance, even in my dreams, all right? Even if I slept and I dreamt that, I would have been very, very happy. But to do this in real life, Parthiv, wow. That's all I can say. Wow. You remember that movie Sergeant? I think it was, what is that? Salman Khan, Madhuri Dixit, and um, I forgot. You're the movie buff. Who's the other guy? Sanjay Dutt.
Sajan,
Sanjay Dutt, right?
Sajan.
Yeah, in Sergeant, that movie, Sanjay Dutt is the hero and Salman is the other guy. They both are after the same girl, right? Well,
Yeah.
Salman Sarzaif suffered the same fate as the Salman of Sergeant. All right? He lost the girl in the end, Parthiv. He lost the girl in the end. That Salman also didn't get the girl. This Salman also did not get the win, Parthiv. Dahit only
Oh,
became Amar of that movie, Parthiv. And he reigned supreme. He walked away with the girl and he walked away with the win.
wow.
I am sure our Salman Sarzai is still going to be wondering why did he take 2 runs on the last ball of the 24th over. I am sure the entire Gujarat Warriors are going to be thinking what went wrong. Salman might
Mm.
be thinking, you know what? I am the man in form. I have scored 62 runs. Why in the world did I need to take 2 runs on that last ball of the 24th over? Take single, keep the strike. I'm the man in form. Let me finish the game. Simple as that. Do not forget, Parthiv, there's also
But
great captaincy here. Sandeep Pallamareddy will be forgotten. But let me tell you, he deserves all the credit. Gautam, Venu, and the other Avengers stalwarts, they all require credit because these guys had to keep their nerve on that last over and they kept their nerve. Not a single wide, not a single run, not a single no ball, nothing conceded. The greatest game of the season happened in Division 2 in 2025, Parthiv.
that was incredible. I mean, to get 4 wickets of 6 balls to win the game, and obviously being bowling a maiden over is unbelievable in under the circumstances and the pressure. But I just spare a moment, spare a thought for Gujarat Warriors. I mean, I don't know what were they thinking. Even if they had just played out that over normally, you just need 2 runs, one for the tie. I'm sure that there was a 1 run somewhere. So I mean, it's hard to even think about the situation, how this might have transformed into from a comfortable win to losing it with 2 runs to spare. I mean, at the least they would have at least got it to tie. So it's hard. I mean, it's just no matter how much I think of it, I can't think of a situation where a team can lose from that situation.
Parthiv, Dahitule is going to somebody is going to take a video of this clip and is going to send it to Dahitule, and Dahitule is going to send it to all his friends and family. This is one of the greatest performances of all time. So I'm happy that we got to cover it, but I'll let you guys cover the other 2 things unless
I
Mr.
wish
Vijay
I
Shanmugam
wish
wants to add something to this thing because this
Partha,
was a fabulous this thing. I mean, it's mind blowing.
I would just want to put a request. If anybody's hearing from Warriors or Avengers, if you guys have a clip of that over, would love to show it on primetime show, and would love to put it on YouTube so that it always remains there. So in case somebody is recorded, I don't see a link or a YouTube link in the game, so I'm assuming that it wasn't recorded. But if by chance if somebody has that camera on or has a clip of the winning moment, would love to see that. Yes, Vijay.
yeah, I think similar situation we both were in at one point.
Which one? Oh, no, ours was not as close as this. Are you talking about the
Three,
playoff game?
yeah, 3 wickets in one
Yeah,
one
yeah.
over
Three
with
wickets,
Amrit.
6 runs. We were still 6 runs, and it was the last over. Yes, so similar, but not as bad as
Yeah,
this.
like 4 runs needed.
Vijay, I find it difficult that anything is going to beat this. It's very, very difficult. I
Okay,
mean, all right,
okay.
I
No,
mean,
no,
we all would like to
no,
think that our
no.
game was probably the game greatest, all right? But
I given all
put
credits to the bowler, right?
put
Like,
all the bias aside. Let's give credit where credit is
no,
due,
no. That's
Vijay.
what I'm trying
This
to
guy deserves the
say.
credit.
All right, I'm not trying to deny that. I'm just trying to say that like a bowler coming into the last over to defend 4 runs, it's not easy in DCL. That's what I was trying to say. It is always
Yeah,
under pressure, right? It can be 50-50, right? It's the batsman under the pressure, right? Like losing 1 wicket will be under pressure. So again, all kudos to the team that won. But again, it's always, like DCL, as I said, it's becoming more and more competitive. It's not going to be easy to, even if you say it's like 5 runs are there to win, it's not going to be easy. That's what my point was. Because the league is getting competitive. Yeah. All right.
Absolutely. I think the league is definitely. I mean, such games are few and far in between. Such close games, yes, in playoffs, things become much more tighter. But this weekend, I think somebody had commented that there were quite a few close games, especially in Division Two. Like the next game I'm going to go to is the Troy
Before
Hawks
that,
versus.
can I ask Partha and Viju a question here? Now, we moved from the division that we used to play. Now we are
Mm.
doing Division 1 and Division 2s. Now, do you think that still the same? I mean, I'm just trying to debate here. I mean, we still have five minutes to cover something. What do you guys
Mhm.
think, right? Like you guys have played both kind of divisions now. Do you guys still think, like the idea of Division 1, Division 2 is good, or is the competition matching up? Is there like uh where do we draw the line saying, okay, I think we have good competition in both divisions right now coming up, right? End of the day, maybe Division 1, the teams are splitting right now and trying to form their own teams. uh, where do we draw the line? I mean, end of the day, it shouldn't become like, hey, I just want to play Division 2. I don't want to, deal with these guys anymore. End of the day, cricket has to grow. DCL has to grow. So where do you guys see that as a? I'm just
Yeah,
taking as a.
my opinion, like I think the first year I joined the committee, I had put this proposal out. I think I'm a big fan of division. Not because it divides the team, but I think it creates equal competition, and it grows and it promotes quality, because Division One you have the best of the best, and all the games are truly like relatively competitive teams. Yes, some are more stronger than the others depending on the players coming out and in. Sometimes that those happen, but relatively, Division One is strong. All the teams are strong, and then Division Two has its own nuance. You have teams that are playing for the coveted Division One, so there's always going to be that challenge, and then new teams come in. There's unknowns, some teams newly forming in, which suddenly become challengers. So Division Two is always going to have that mix of good teams, new teams, and then teams that are wanting to go into Division One. So that healthy competition exists in both divisions, and I think both promotes quality. And that's why you see even Division Two, even though it's Division Two, there are some really high quality games, close contests, and there's equal enthusiasm. I remember looking at local boys and Thunders playing the finals. I mean, they were going at each other's neck no matter what. It wasn't thought of it like a Division Two final. They were wanting to win at any cost. So I don't think anything is lost here. I think it just promotes good talent, good quality, and just allows the DCL to grow in terms of quality. Because I think previously we used to have good games, but then we used to also have a lot of like just lull,
Yeah.
one-sided games.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. 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 So Viju, what's your thought, Viju?
Well, I have a slightly different opinion. It all depends on where you come from. My point is, if I was a brand new team, I always want to compete for the big title. All right. I want to win the Division One title. I mean, I've always said this. If I'm not in Division One, I would wind up Glads, and I'm done with it. For me, competition at its highest. That's what I want to go for. That I want to pit myself against the best and see where we stand. If we are short, we are short. That's okay. But that's what I aim for. I always feel that there are some teams which come in who might be able to win the whole thing, but you're not giving them an opportunity when they don't have this thing. I would have preferred if you have a situation where the winner of the division uh, Division 2 gets to compete in the playoffs in Division 1, so that they would never feel that, hey, we didn't get a chance at going all the way. If you remember in FCC, once KK did this, he went all the way from, I don't know, the slightly lesser division, uh, masterful captaincy by KK and getting all his players to believe it. And I don't know if he won the finals of the final of the big cup. Maybe he did, or he probably fell short in the finals of the real championship. Okay, the one with all the money in it and things like that. For me, that is amazing because he got both chances. So I would like to see a situation where maybe you can find finish off Division Two earlier, and the winner can probably get a spot in the Division One playoffs, and so that they never have to feel that, you know what, we didn't win it all the way. That's just me. I don't want to take that opportunity away from any team, but that's just me.
Okay, I
Gaba,
mean it's
Gaba is here, so Gaba can chime in too.
So yeah, I think both points are valid. I would say, there's no right and wrong in this, but there are two things. First thing, from the scheduling point of view, right? Because we are giving enough number of people. We are starting season one and season two at the same time. All are having same league game, same time. So that way right? We are already 16, 17 weeks league. We cannot wait for that final to happen and then this. Probably we need to have a different arrangement for all together for division two, and then try to get one or two teams here. That is a valid point. But another thing, if you see, right, there are a lot of teams that who are just fall short for just 1 point, right? Sometimes it is my opinion. For example, XYZ team just fall short for 1 point, and I could not qualify for the playoff. Sometimes that team is also more competitive than the team that was won the final in the division two. So giving a division two finalist to directly a spot of the playoff again might not be from their perspective, it might not be a rightful decision.
Again, these are
yeah.
different perspective. For example, you have an IPL. If you have one and two are playing, and still they get a second shot, kind of a thing. So all I'm saying is, uh, when we take away that chance, there is always this thing. Hey, how would I have competed against the top division teams, kind of a thing? I mean, for example, I think local boys can beat some of the top division teams, including the champion team. That's what I honestly feel. So,
But one thing I'll tell you, Vijay, because we met a lot of people here. Most of the people who are in Division 2, right? They want to compete with the Division 2 teams only.
yeah,
It,
that may
it's
be
not.
true.
It is not something that they are liking it to play in the Division 2, the Division 1, and they are not getting a chance to play in Division 1. Because this year we wanted team to come for the Division 1, and a lot
Yeah,
of team has not shown the interest. We actually reached out to the team if you want to play, and then only uh, Stingers accepted that proposal.
But that's why I can respect Stingers a lot. I mean, in the sense that, you know
So,
what, that takes a lot
yeah,
of courage to say
yeah,
that, you
but
know
my
what, I'll
thought was
compete.
that majority of the team that you were saying, right, though they wanted to play in the Division 2 itself, in if you see it that way, right, they are also premium in their own zone because they are into a more competitive team fighting each other. Every game is more competitive. Even if you ask me on the prediction, right, for Division 2 prediction, I take very less time when I'm feeling my predictions, right. Division 1, I'm feeling like tick, 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 and done. But Division 2, whenever it is coming, I have to see a lot of things, which is balance, what is this and not, because I found sometimes both the teams either weak or equally strong.
Yeah, I think we can agree that there is no perfect answer. I mean, we
Yeah,
all will have slight differences of opinion, but that's what makes a great democracy, right? I mean,
right,
people have differences of opinion. Ultimately, you go with the majority. Whatever the
right,
majority says, that's what it is. That's what it is.
right.
yeah, but
And I think
until now,
for a lot of things, this is again my perspective. I'm not talking on behalf of committee, but this is my perspective. If you need to think some innovative ideas or whatever you're saying, right? We need to cut down our league number of league games in DCL. The 12 league games occupy around whole summer, If we cut down to 8, 10 or something, we can explore a lot of those possibilities.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like that possibility which KK had. That I thought was amazing that they were able to win their division and then progress and play in the upper division and then go all the way to the finals. And everybody was cheering them because here was an underdog which had come. And remember, all of us like an underdog, right? I mean, if if I was not a Glads guy, I think I would be rooting against Glads if Glads played somebody a team which has never won a championship. That's just the nature of the beast, right? So, but anyways, it is what it is. But something to think about. Since I was asked the question, I gave an answer.
Yep. I think, yeah, as I said, like you all have different perspectives, but I guess it's the if we can find the best of all worlds, I think that would be ideal. But it's hard to find that, get people games as well as keep the competitive spirit on, still be able to schedule all these things. So it is hard, and plus every year we get so many new teams. This year itself, I think there were 6 or 7 new teams coming in as well. So it's hard for them to just get into the mainstream straight away. I think Division 2 gives them a little runway into DCL, so it's much better for them to come in that division than straight away to playing some of the big teams.
I don't think we can have predictions, can we? I mean, because
We can still have predictions. I can just call out the games, and we can just you know we can just
because I don't
read
know
out our
what
own predictions.
I don't know what all everybody predicted.
No, but
yeah.
I
I mean,
think what he's saying, he can call out the name and we can say which team we have picked. That's what you're saying,
yeah,
Parthi?
yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure we, if we, I mean, if
I
we
have the
don't
email
remember,
from the Google, so I'm just getting into it. Yeah.
yeah, if we don't remember, that's fine. We can, I mean, what's said on the air doesn't hold true. What's submitted holds true. So
But
just
we
that
get
caveat.
the email, right? Just open the email and just
Oh,
read
you
it.
get an email? I have not seen that email. Wait.
Wow. We get the email as soon as you submit the response, Parthi bhai.
Okay. Maybe I have. Hmm. Yeah, it says I can. Okay. Oh, this is a different week. All right, let's go through it, and then I'll call out, and you guys can uh, tell me your predictions. All right. So let me bring up those games. Division 1. Let's go with that. All right. I'll go with SLCC Legends versus Dynamites. Viju?
Legends. Even though I have my friend Vijay Shanmugam on the show, I have to say
Well,
legends.
we'll give him also the chance to vote. So we'll see how if he backs his team.
He is
Well, I
disappeared.
didn't I didn't I didn't back my team against GLCC, so I'll be honest.
Okay.
All right. Babaji.
So Vijay bhai, hold your nerve. Dynamite.
Oh
Oh my
wow.
God. Okay. You might be knowing something. What about Vijay? Vijay has disappeared. He's
No, no, I can.
convenient.
Can
Yeah,
you
It
guys
is.
hear
you're
me?
up.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, he can hear you.
Yeah, I can't see you. I want to see your face,
Yeah,
man.
I'm trying to because in this hotel that that
Vijay bhai, can you put it some word? He must be, by seeing my prediction, he must be jumping on the rope or something.
Uh,
Vijay,
let,
do you
let,
hear
let,
yeah,
Gaba?
yeah.
let's hope he didn't do a Ganguly, Gababaji. Let's hope he didn't do a Ganguly, and that's why he's
Yeah,
not showing up under this thing. Okay, I
yeah.
can't
All
see
right,
him. So, okay,
Vijay,
what?
your turn. Dynamite's Legends. Is he still there?
Yeah, one
Okay,
minute, I'm trying to start my my
Anyway,
video.
Parthi bhai, what did you pick?
yeah,
I'd pick Legends.
okay.
So I'm only the friend, Vijay's friend here.
Vijay's
All right.
friend. All right, we'll see. We'll see what Vijay himself talks about his team. Let's see.
All right, I mean, sorry, my video is not able to think, but
That's
I
okay. What's your prediction? Go ahead.
yeah, yeah,
no, I think both are equal strength team. I always opt for my team, but Legends is a good competition for me. I think this is the game I'm looking forward, and then obviously the next game, you know, after
So you
this.
pick
So,
Dynamite.
we have a question for you. I'm not sure if it has been covered or not. All the big guns, the foreign made guns are loaded for this weekend or not?
Um,
You mean the
yeah,
Bofors guns and all that stuff?
I mean
Not really.
it's
Both.
no, I mean we have a good team. We're going to feel the same team that we did last time.
Okay, cool.
And Vijay has a corporate answer fixed for everything.
Hmm.
No,
Doesn't reveal.
Like so again, I am not bringing any players. I mean, we are playing with the same unit last.
All right.
I'm trying to have
So
a consistent
basically, he
unit.
has got all the player in the last game only. So not no more new addition this year. This game, not this year. This year already had an addition, right, Vijay?
Well, if Dynamite keeps winning, then I'm pretty sure there's no addition. If Dynamite start to lose, then maybe Vijay will get some more guns coming out.
Yeah, we're waiting on the pipeline, man.
I think he's waiting. He's waiting for the
You
Asia
know,
Cup cancellation.
I don't know if they will explode, but they're just Dynamite is supposed to be
Well,
exploding.
if Asia Cup gets cancelled, then maybe you'll get players. Pakistan players will be
Yeah,
available. Well, we'll go to the next one. KRCC Raptors. Now this will be a good game, I feel.
Yeah, I'm going with KRCC.
Yeah, KRCC for me as well.
yeah, easy all the way.
Yeah,
What about
Well,
our
I
friend
mean,
Vijay?
we don't know what KRCC is bringing to the table, but I'm gonna pick KRCC for this time. Yeah, because we don't know which KRCC team is gonna show up. So
Yep.
I mean, again, they're sweeping up everything. I think it's going to take a miracle to upset them. Because if you saw the Tana Cup also, that's what people were telling
Yeah,
me. That
yeah. You see the scorecard. At one point, I thought that I forgot the team name, but the Oni was playing. But until Oni did not come, it looks like they are losing. And then when Oni, the big man, came for the big game and he turned the game upside down.
yeah.
That was the final. He scored. I
Oni
think
is
he
a
came.
Oni is a phenomenal player. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, absolutely. He came 4-5 down or something and he scored 40-45 run while chasing some 80, 90 or 100 runs. That I forgot the scorecard, but he scored 40 plus run coming down the order when the team was on a real pressure.
All right, next
All
game.
right, let's go to the next. Let's go on to the next game. The next game is Local Boys and GLCC. Well, I will go with GLCC this time because I think the wounded Tigers will come back and they'll come back strong. So going with GLCC.
I'm going with GLCC too.
GLCC for me as well.
all right, I'm gonna go against you guys. I'm gonna pick Local Boys for this game.
Oh,
Okay.
Just
wow.
because of friends you have in local boys or you believe local
No,
boys will
I'm just gonna pick the other side of this equation.
It might be also a committee conflict. Well, he wants to oppose Jagan Konda probably.
KK
And he also probably wants to prove a point to KK. Who knows? All right.
Oh, underdogs, right? Let's give it to the underdogs.
Okay. How come you didn't want to give it to the underdogs in KRCC versus Raptors?
No,
Good
I said
question.
again, we don't know which one KRCC is going to bring because we know GLCC which team they are going to bring, obviously, and there's a consistent with both teams, so I can pick either one. But with KRCC, we don't know which one they are going to add. There's always going to be, which top guns are going to be.
Yeah, so the
everybody.
uncertainty should make it even more difficult to pick that team, right?
But
Whereas when a certain in a certainty,
they don't
for
have
sure.
players for this game?
Huh?
What if they don't have players for this game?
Yeah,
But
so that's okay. Anyway, it's just a question which I asked.
yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to the game. Knockers and FCC.
Knockers for me.
Knockers as well.
Yeah, Marcus.
All right, Vijay, are you still around?
Yeah, I think I'll go to knockers.
All right, then Stingers and Gladiators.
Well, I'm going to go with Glads on that one.
Definitely. Yeah, Glads for me as well.
Vijay, you wanna pick
Yeah.
underdog or
No, I like Glad still has the strength to beat Stingers. I think the Stingers are also a good competitive team. They fought close to Indus, so but Glads will prevail.
All right. And MCC Miles and Titans. All right. I think Titans for me. Bro, what was that?
I don't know. Vijay is doing a lot of magic behind the scenes. Okay, he has turned off that video and he's doing a lot of magic behind the scenes.
No,
I have
I'm
no
still
idea
fine.
what the magic is.
Vijay,
No,
who do you
I
have?
think Titans all the way.
Vijay,
Oh,
who do you have in the room?
he's picked his good friend Gaba.
All right, he's picked Titans.
So
I guess.
I guess it's a 4-0 sweep for Titans then.
Yep. And then
But
the
then-
last
then-
game, I think.
Yeah,
The
this
last
is
game-
going to
Yeah.
be interesting to see what people picked. This
Yeah,
is the
it's
one I
game of
was
the-
really
game of the
curious.
week, I think.
For me, the game of the week.
Yeah, for me as well,
Pokery's
game of the
fight.
week.
Yeah. Game of the week. Pokery's fighter.
I'm gonna go with
Showcase game
Fighters.
of the week. Huh?
I went with Fighters.
Okay. Gaba?
I went with Bogus.
I went with Pokery's too. What about Mr. Vijay Shanmugam? I'm sure he went with Pokery's.
I'm going with Fighters for this game.
Oh, fighters, huh?
Okay.
Oh, the love of Pokery's. That's the. All right, go ahead. Next game, roll.
All
Hey,
right.
Vijay,
that
can
is-
you turn off that video because that's causing feedback? I mean, having the
Audio.
audio
Audio.
running
I think
or
you're-
the microphone, that's what is causing it.
All
All
right.
right.
That was all Division 1 games. Now let's go with the Division 2 games, which are even harder to predict. So let's go with Farmington Risers and Royal Challengers Detroit.
I went with RCD.
I
Yeah,
went with
me too.
RCD.
Yeah, I think just the known team versus the unknown.
Okay.
All right, Vijay, are you listening to us?
Yeah.
right, just-
So can you hear me?
just-
Yeah,
hold on.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna pick whatever Gababa is gonna pick because he's the guy who picks all the games correctly. You guys are not following what he's doing. I'm gonna stick with Gababa's picks. Mostly I will catch it up if I follow him.
Vijay bhai, you are as you joined as analyst. You should give some analysis. Don't just follow
Yes.
me.
No, so again, I again sorry for my thing, but I don't know both the teams. But whatever
Yeah, just
you guys
pick.
pick,
Just
I'm-
pick. Yeah, just pick. I know there are as I said, Division 2 are hard because we don't know a lot of teams, so you have to go with some gut instinct as well. All right.
Okay,
let's go
so
with-
yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I'm going to the next game. The Bharat Cricket Club versus Vikings. I have gone with Vikings because I know a few guys there. No idea of Bharat Cricket Club.
Yeah. I went with
Vikings.
Viking. I went with Viking as well, but I just came to know that Bharat Cricket Club is like a B team for fighters or something like that. There are a lot of fighter players who are playing in this team or something like that. I just came to know in this week, last weekend.
Hmm.
But I still
Okay.
went with the Vikings.
Okay. Michigan Mavericks versus Agni.
Oh, we missed Troy Hawks versus Motor City. There's one game, right?
Oh, I'm just going by the schedule
Okay.
listed. I'm
Okay,
sure
I'm just
it'll come
going by
up.
the sequence that he created. Anyway, let's
Oh,
go. Michigan Maverick versus FCC Agni. Agni for me.
yeah, yeah, Agni for me as well,
I went with Michigan Mavericks.
bro. Wow.
Oh.
What was the rationale behind it? Do you know anyone from Michigan Mavericks,
I don't
or
know.
was it a
I just decided to take a chance.
okay?
I felt I picked Agni twice and I won both times. So this time I felt like taking a chance against them.
Hmm.
I
So
can't explain
one
the
thing,
logic.
one thing that I observed. Okay, I think this is not from this year, but I think maybe in the last year as well. Maybe it's just my observation. A few example, I see a lot of you guys take chances against FCC Agni. I think FCC Agni is a really good team. You guys should try to find some different game to whenever you want to get like the +1 points, right? This is not the game, is what my understanding is. Because I see a
Hmm.
lot of time, either you or Satya or sometime Parthiv bhai, they try to
Yeah.
pick against FCC Agni just to cover up. And FCC Agni, most of the time, they win those games.
Hmm. That's a good suggestion, advice. Yeah, I've been. I agree. I've been taking too many chances on Ramesh.
Okay.
All right, let's go to Dark Horses and Deccan Chargers. Well, I'm going
Deccan
with Dark.
Chargers for me.
Oh,
Deccan
really? I
Chargers
went
for
with
me
Dark.
as well.
I'm
Huh?
going with Dark Horses.
Deccan Chargers
Kaba?
for me as well. Deccan
Okay.
Chargers.
Okay.
Hmm. What about
Vijay?
Yeah,
Vijay?
yeah. So Deccan Chargers is an offshoot of SSK. When they got
Yeah.
split up, just a kind information. And yeah, I know Dark Horses is a good team. But again, they looking at their team analysis that I did, they leak a lot of runs. And again, the only way to for them to win is to Deccan Chargers has a good team. Like they have three really good bowlers. So if Dark Horses can tame them, they can win. But again, uh, looking at the history, Deccan Chargers has been consistently playing well. Again, Dark Horses only played 2 games, so I cannot again be politically right here. But again, I'm going to give my verdict to Deccan Chargers because they have a young unit, so they're playing very
Mhm.
as a unit. So
All right. Well, I just went with Pankaj Watts, and I think Dark Horses have been doing well recently, so took a chance. All right. Kadambas and Elite Leos.
Well, I went with Tejas Shantagowda. The Tejas Shantagowda effect. I went with
Yes.
Kadambas because of that.
Yeah. Tejas and
Yeah.
Pradeep Bhai, I know two guys, so I went with Kadambas as well.
Yeah. Kadambas for me as well.
yeah, give me Kadambas.
All right. We'll give it to you. All right. Avengers and Canton Hurricanes. This is an interesting prediction. I want to see do people side with Avengers now that they've won that close game against Warriors versus Hurricanes, which scored like what 180 this last weekend.
No, Hurricanes didn't score 180.
Didn't they last week? No, no. Sorry,
They
they
lost to
Phantoms.
Phantoms.
Phantoms. Phantom scored 180. Sorry. Yeah, correct.
I went with the Avengers.
All right.
Go
I went with
Avengers. All the time.
I went with Avengers as well.
I went with Canton Hurricanes.
Hmm. Still some.
So, Vijay, the guy
Yeah.
that you asked to pick, he must have picked the Avengers only, right?
Huh? He no. So this week I decided to, his strike rate is not impressing me very much. So this week I did not ask him what is your week Division Two picks. This week I said, you know what? Let me try my chance and see what happens with the Division Two picks. Let
No,
me see
I think
how what my prediction percentage is compared to his. So this week is actually my picks. The week Division Two.
No, Hurricanes have a really good player called Syed Bahar. He's a really good player. I saw him in Tana Cup. The guy can hit like crazy, man. Sadat, I think his name is Sadat Bahir.
But
Sadat
the problem is these guys have to play the game, right? I mean, it's one thing to be able to hit the ball, but if you can't play the game, then what's the point?
See, that's the problem, right? Like with all these players, new players coming in, we don't know who is going to play.
Yeah,
The
I
prediction
agree.
becomes that difficult. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, Parthiv.
All right. Yes. Next game I have is the Troy Hawks versus Motor City.
I went with Troy Hawks.
Yeah, Troy Hawks.
All right. Yeah, Troy Hawks for me as
Troy
well.
Hawks.
Okay,
Hawks for
Vijay
me.
also Troy Hawks.
All right. Looks like next game is Punjab Scorpions and Gujarat Warriors. Now this is an interesting
Yeah, I think this is the showcase game of the week for the Division 2 probably.
division
I
two.
might, yeah. It looks like too competitive team, but still I picked Punjab Scorpion.
Yeah, I picked
predict.
Scorpions too.
Yep, me too.
Punjab boys all the way, man.
Okay.
All right. Marvels and Rangers.
I went with Rangers.
Yeah, Rangers.
All right.
Rangers.
How about
Rangers?
Vijay?
Yeah, Rangers. Parthiv. Yeah.
Okay. And then the last game, SLCC Guardians versus Detroit Eagles.
Went with Guardians.
Yes, me too.
I'm
Okay.
going to pick Eagles for this game.
Okay.
All right. And that's about it. I actually
We
did
have,
yeah, go ahead.
we have 13 prediction if you wanna show that, or we are just okay without it.
You mean the prediction results?
The chart that we show, right? This one.
The leaderboard, you mean?
No, Baba, this
Which one?
we can show that as well, and then the
Oh,
prediction
okay. That I think Viju,
chart.
do you have that?
Prediction
I
chart.
think
No,
He
you
just
guys
shared
can
on
this thing.
the thing. You can just share on this, and then we can discuss that also maybe. Fine.
But you know what?
Viju,
I wanted
Viju,
to. You can share the
can you-
desktop, right?
I can, but where do I find this? I'm not seeing that. Is it in the under prediction results or predictions? Where
Just
is
share
it?
your screen. I'll guide you.
Okay.
It will be on a home only. The chart will be on the home. Prediction result will give you the basically
Okay.
who are leading and all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. Am I sharing my screen?
No, not yet.
Okay. Please can't. Wait, I'll have to. This computer sometimes.
You know, while you are having these predictions come up, I have a question. All right, you got it. All right.
Yeah. All right. Let's look at what the audience, the people who are participating in our predictions, are talking
So
about. What
see the
others
game
are.
one at this point. Game one, Dynamite
Bro,
looks like
legends.
little having over age than Legends.
Yeah, out of the 13 votes, it's 8-5, 61 to 38. So still close. I mean, it can go either way with one vote.
No, it
KRCC,
says blue is Legends, right? So Legends is having more votes.
correct.
Oh yeah,
But it's
yeah,
60-40. So, it's still
Yeah.
less number of. Yeah.
No, but you were saying that Dynamites is having more votes.
yeah. I read it wrong. I read
See,
it
I
wrong.
Really?
think last week there were 25, 26 votes. I think we need to try to increase this frequency here because, you have like 1,000 players and only, 13
Yeah,
is
I think
voting.
it is just because Satya did not send in the community group as a reminder. He just did it. So
Yeah.
most likely in a day or two we'll have more prediction submitted.
He's
All
in
right.
India, so how's I mean, unless he gets on top of the game, it's going to be difficult, right?
He just posted Vijay in the group,
Oh,
so
is it?
most likely
Okay.
people will submit. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's go through the ones that are close. The KRCC Raptors is one-sided. GLCC Local Boys is one-sided towards GLCC. Knockers win comfortably against FCC. Gladiators win comfortable against Local Boys. 13 out of 13. Titans uh, win
Pokeries
easily.
Fighters. See, that's the close game. So that's the one
Yeah.
where for me, that's going to be a cracker of a game.
All right, still
Yeah.
Poker is edging out Fighters at this moment with 13 votes. The other game to see is
But
Michigan.
Parthiv, what is interesting is you two guys picked Fighters,
Yep.
right?
Yes,
No,
I
I,
picked
I picked Pogres.
Oh, you picked Pokeries. All right.
I picked Fighters.
Okay.
All
I
right.
think our friend Vijay Shanmugam picked Fighters then.
All right. Let's look at the other close game is Canton Hurricanes and Avengers. It's 50, almost 50-50. 7 to
Yeah.
6. So that, as we had predicted, would be a good game. I'm surprised that
Yeah.
Punjab Scorpions versus Gujarat Warriors is so one-sided.
Well,
11 to 2.
that's what winning with 9 players will do, Parthiv. Remember, they beat a very good Phantoms unit with 9 players. The moment you see that, you kind of like, you say, you know what? I mean, I'm not sure if I want to pick against those guys. That's the problem.
All right. Cool. All right. That's all we've got today. I think.
Yeah, actually, Parthiv, it's not all we got today. I have a question for my
Oh,
good friend Vijay Shanmugam. It's
all
unfortunate
right.
that I can't see him, He's good friends with the Pokeries,
Vijay
all
bhai, you
right?
can switch on your camera now.
I'm trying, man. I mean, the camera, I have to restart my computer. Then it will take another 5 minutes. So, again, like I can take a snippet and send it to you guys. I mean, it's like the camera is not functioning.
No. We are not that desperate to see.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, go ahead, Vijay. Happy
You're
to-
good friends with Pokeries, right? And can you please explain this conundrum? I thought in a friendship, it's always give and take, Vijay. Since I have you on the show, I want to ask you, how come this Pokeries friendship is only a take friendship, where Pokeries keeps taking all your good players and Dynamites is the training ground for Pokeries, where whenever there is a good Pokeries, Dynamites player, Pokeries takes it. So after that, I want you to answer a question about my good friend Sanjay Longavan.
Okay. I think like we both used to play together before, but now again like I'm not leading the team, so for a lot of reasons, I think there is uh, the players are playing for another teams in off tournaments. But again, like no love lost between me and Pokris. I mean, we still are good friends. I'm still friends with Ranjit. Ranjit is still healing from his surgery that has happened in this off season. Again, this is again he's trying to recover from his surgery and everything. But Pokris was built with Ravi Narla and Ranjit and those guys, right? Like that's where I remember those guys. So they are still friends with me. But again, like the healthy competition between me and Pokris. Again, I want to beat Pokris, right? Any given day. That's the end of the equation. I'm not saying that I'm trying to be nice to them. On any given day, we will still play together. But when we are in the opponent team, I still want to beat Ranjit. I want to be the better better version of Pokris. Dynamics wants to always beat the best teams in the league. With given that said, I mean, I just picked this year. I mean, I usually pick Pokris, but fighters, I think they are a good unit. That's why I picked fighters for this game. So there is no love lost between Dynamites and Pokris. We still, I mean, there are offshoots from Arun Selvaraj came from Pokris to Dynamites, right? He's the captain now. So again, there is a lot of gives and takes between me and Pokris team.
Who is the captain? Are you the captain or is Arun Selvaraj the captain? I keep getting confused. One time you say Arun Selvaraj is the captain, another time you say you are the captain. I have no idea who is the captain now.
He just
It's
goes for the toss.
Huh?
He just goes for the toss.
no,
Okay.
Like the
I
lucky.
can. Yeah. Arun does the game. I try to win the toss and see if we can win the toss. If
And
I'm
he's lost. And he's
And
lost
you have
nine
lost,
tosses.
and you have lost, and you have lost 8 tosses in a row, and you haven't fired yourself. I don't get this. I really don't get this. How can you not fire yourself when you have lost 8 tosses in a row?
no, that's why like a team owner has the luxury, Viju.
Oh my God.
Okay, now let's go. Let's switch gears here. All right, Sanjay Elangovan, switch from my MCC miles to your good friend Pokeries. All right, I'm still going to call them your good friends. All right, is he the Trojan horse? Is he the Trojan horse, Vijay? Tell me this. Because I see Vicky is becoming thinner and thinner with each passing day. If he becomes any more thinner, you know that north wind coming from what is that, Windsor, is going to take him all the way and deposit him in the upper peninsula. Because what I see is, you know what, our friend Sanjay Ilangovan has gone to Pokeries and he is producing squat. He's producing one run, stuff like that. All right. This reminds me of bacon strips. A bacon strip looks like one run. If our friend Sanjay Ilangovan keeps producing bacon strips, soon our friend Vicky is going to be ending up in the Upper Peninsula. Now you know that I like to make fun of everything. So here the question, the question I have is Sanjay Elangovan going to help Pokeries reach the promised land? I hope Glads are not playing Pokeries, otherwise I would have fired up Sanjay Elangovan. But the thing is, let me ask you this: is Sanjay Elangovan taking
No,
Pokeries to
no.
the promised land?
So again, it's the confidence of Sanjay Lakavan. I mean, we have seen him hit big sixes against teams, but again, he hit me for, again, I'm not a bowler and he hit me for 4 sixes. Doesn't mean that he's a big batsman, right? But again, but he is.
Go.
But again,
There you go. Okay. I'm sure when Dynamites are playing Pokeries, Sanjay Ilangovan is coming up all fired up.
No. Like so Sanjay needs a one breakout game, which is, that's what I was trying to say. He's hasn't produced for Pokeries yet, but that was the point why they recruited him in Pokeries, because they need that big gun to fire the right moment, right? Like they were missing that big bat, right? So again, like he's been taking some wickets for Pokeries, which is a good additional thing for Pokeries also. But again, we never know what Pokeries will do, right? Because maybe this is Vicky's think tank. What Ranjit couldn't do or Ravi couldn't do, like maybe Vicky has some kind of an idea where they are lacking, where the gaps are. Maybe like they've been in finals 4 or 5 times, right? That's not an easy thing to do. Again, going to the next level is always takes the extra effort. I mean, Ranjit did it. Ravi did it. Now it's let's give a chance to Vicky and see how he did it. I mean, it may not be just Sanjay, right? It could be a combination of few guys they could get. So we'll see.
Yeah, I still think Sanjay can get the job done, but you know what? Because he's having a lean season, I felt this was a good opportunity to give it,
Robert.
rub it
Yeah.
into Sanjay a bit.
No, I don't
Because
want
you
to
know
be
what?
mean.
I want Sanjay to fire because I know a fired Sanjay will produce a lot of good results for Pokeries.
In,
I
in
think
my opinion, in my opinion, Pokri should have got Rahul Chenna instead of Sanjay. I think that would have been the missing piece. That would have filled the missing piece. I feel Rahul Chenna is much more, uh, valuable in terms of his batting and how he can hit versus Sanjay. I think he's lost a little bit of his big hitting prowess. I think fitness has been an issue. I think some of these things are
No, but
catching up to him.
I think
He's
Parthy, we have not seen Sanjay this year.
Okay.
He's fit now. He's really fit.
He has
Yeah.
lost a lot of weight and he is fitter than before.
Then I take my words back. Sorry, Sanjay, if you're listening.
Trust me, he's
I
probably
said
hearing
like
it out.
for
This thing.
Sanjay is a mental thing, right? Like because I talk to him often, it's a mental thing for him. He just wants to play. He just wants to play well. He just wants to contribute. But he's
Oh yeah, he's a competitor like anything. He can compete and he'll
but
give it
he
his
needs to
all.
have the freedom, right? Like in Pokri's lineup, if you see where Sanjay goes, right? Is he getting the freedom? That's what the Pokri's captain has to think. Like you cannot put a player always under stress because this is a free hitter, right? Like Sanjay cannot take ones and doubles. I mean, end of the day, he's not Vicky. He cannot think like Vicky. All he can think is like, hey, how I can whack the ball. End of the day.
Okay, let me ask you this. See, for me, Arun Tinakaran has pretty much carried Pokeris in many games, and he has been one of their most valuable players in multiple ways, whether it is with bowling or with the batting. Batting has been phenomenally good. I feel it is a player making a name for themselves and creating that position, right? So I feel that. For Sanjay, I think Pokhris is a much better opportunity than he had at Miles. I think it's a relationship which will work for both of them. But since I had you and you knew the insides outs of Pokhris and all the
Because this is
long
a new
history,
team.
I thought
it's
I should at least ask
yeah,
the question.
Again, if Ranjit was there, I could have, bragged him. But it's Vicky's team now, so I can't say anything right now because it's. But again, like as I said, Viju, it's about the combinations that what Pokris is putting right now. I mean, let's see when they face good teams. I think that's when that matters.
Parthiv, I'm going to give you a final this thing. I know you got a drop, but you know what? How I had this question which was sent to me by somebody. This was on the just concluded Thana Cup. Somebody
Okay.
figured out a way to keep Amarendra Nuwala quiet. And they said, what happened was, I believe the team was Rachia Riders, was playing Amar's team. And Amar, loves to whack any ball out of the park. And well, anyway, Anwar, the Rachia Riders skipper, went and took Amar to the middle of the pitch and had a conversation with him. And the next thing you know, Amar just defended all the balls. And the next thing you know, Rachia Riders qualified for the playoffs. So next time,
Whoa.
Parthiv, if you are ever wondering, do you need a favor and how to keep Amar quiet, take this as a piece of advice. Talk to Amar, take him to the middle of the pitch and said, Amar, can you please just play defense and play the balls out? You might get the
Well,
job done. What? You might not be able to get the job done with the bowling. All right?
Wow.
That much for the
If it-
creativity. But look at this thing that, there's a Thana Cup going on and people send me this thing that this is what happened kind of a thing. So,
Well, a
It's done,
secret
Viju.
revealed and
huh?
it was as simple as that.
It's already done. The cup was done like on Monday. I mean, yeah, yesterday.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. All right. I know we are up on time, so want to wrap up the show. Thank you, Vijay, for joining us. Thank you, Gabaji, for joining us. It was another great show, and looking forward for the next weekend of games. And we'll be back with more analysis next week.
Thank you, Vijay, for showing up, and thank you for your participation.
Thanks, Viju. Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye,
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.